J-Man. I am Jason, defender of geekdom. My true calling in life was revealed to me the day I had discovered YouTube. I have the power! I became J-Man, the most powerful geek in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret. My friends Steven, Owen, and Sean. Together, we defend geekdom from the evil forces of social media. J-Man.
Hello, J-Man here in the Phantom Zone, and we're going to be talking about some wrestling today. Normally we do this on Tuesdays. Today was a little bit of a different day. We had some stuff going on behind the scenes, so we're doing it tonight. So we're going to cover last week's NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. I did watch last night's NXT, so I guess I don't know if we can talk about that, or maybe we'll just save that for next week. But we're going to see how it goes. A couple of just quick updates. Tomorrow we'll do the open mic. Tonight is Daredevil's appearance in the MCU. Official appearance as Daredevil in the yellow and red. I saw the clip that everyone else saw. I mean, I can deconstruct that clip if you want me to. It's not garbage or anything, and I'm okay with like a lighter Daredevil if that's what they're doing. And there, you know, he's a bit more animated and jumping around, which is the Daredevil that I know. So we'll see how it goes. I might not be as pissed off at the representation of Daredevil based on that 5-second clip, though She-Hulk is still ranked the worst television show of all time. And it will remain that way for at least until the next Marvel show. I don't know. They're aiming really low, though. So that'll be tomorrow night. And Friday night, we are going to be doing the next installment of the Space Opera Versus. So we're going to be looking at the Forbidden World versus Galaxy of Terror. Some think those are the same movie, and they may be right. No, I don't know. They're not the same movie. So we're going to go through those. I rewatched Galaxy of Terror. James Cameron's name is in it. And I'm going to rewatch Forbidden World probably tomorrow. So that's going to be this Friday. So we're looking forward to that. And so that'll be fun. So tomorrow night's going to be open chat. We'll talk about She-Hulk and Daredevil. And I don't know, is there anything else to talk about? There's some Spawn updates too, but I might save those. I didn't get a chance to do a Spawn video this week. I didn't go to the comic shop. I will go tomorrow and get King Spawn. So I will do a King Spawn review tomorrow. Okay, so that is that. Let's bring in my co-host. Hello.
Hello.
All right. So we were just talking. There's nothing like, I mean, the theater, we're talking about Bros, which we'll talk about. We'll probably talk about that tomorrow if it comes up as even a topic. I don't even know if that's going to even be a topic. So I know you have not been watching She-Hulk. Do you have any plans on seeing the Daredevil appearance?
So after DW gave an impassioned plea on
He will not stop. He's like the Terminator. He will not stop. He can't be bargained with. He cannot be reasoned.
He literally cannot. He will not let it go, man.
No,
he will not let it go. So I'm like, all right. I got half an hour. Let me sit down and watch episode 6.
Which one was that again? Is that the waiting for a text
with
message?
The lawyers yelling.
Oh, so you didn't. Okay, so that was with the two lawyers yelling at their client.
Yeah, it was the wedding one, right?
It's blurred to, you know, when you take sometimes when you take a shit and then you don't flush right. Like I usually flush right away, and then you forget. Like let's say you're reading and you're into something, and then a minute later, more comes out like you weren't done. That's like talking to me about the She-Hulk episodes. Which was the first one? Which
was the turd?
It's all in the same toilet bowl. So it was a wedding. I
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it was the wedding.
It was a wedding.
Right.
I lasted 4 minutes.
No, you got to go back.
No,
you got to.
I'm not doing it. I cannot do it. I can't. I actually had an out-of-body experience while I was there during that 4 minutes.
Go back.
Where my spirit actually left my body and looked at me sitting there slack-jawed watching She-Hulk and went, "What the hell are you doing?" And then my spirit went back into my body and I hit fast forward. I stopped when I saw the Warriors yelling. That lasted 20 seconds. And I fast forwarded again because I couldn't. And that was it. And then I put on episode 7.
Is that the waiting for the text one?
That's the text one. I lasted 2 minutes. As soon as her
you should be able to last longer on that one. Come on.
As soon as her friend shows up, I die. As soon as her friend shows up, I literally die.
Is that the Fran Drescher friend who thinks she's Fran Drescher?
Can't. Yeah. I literally cannot. I see her and I literally want to projectile vomit. I could not do it. I can't. It's just, no. Like when she showed up and they're like, "Oh my God, your dress." I'm like, no. The people behind this show need to be arrested.
Oh my God.
It's not possible. It's not. This is something you do to people who you don't like. You make them watch a show. It is absolutely horrible. It defies the 4 minutes I saw. I literally was slack-jawed. I was literally like, is this in a Marvel like streaming, with the trademarks and everything? This is a Marvel show. Because when I was watching it, I'm like, I literally think I've seen better on like cable television. Like,
it's a bad show. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Reprehensible. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, and we'll talk about this with.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
It's what is the target audience? There is no target audience for this show. There is none. This person doesn't exist.
I think the thing is that, look, we know it's bad and that's just Marvel's way, but it doesn't have any, like, it's not the reason why it's the worst show. It's not because it's it is so bad, but it's baffling how it's not the same. Like you watch one episode and you're like, okay, this was awful. Then you watch the next episode. You're like, well, this was awful too. But even if I thought it was good, what does one episode have to do with the other? Like it's not a show. No. It defies all like logic or rules of any show. Like, I don't know what it is. Like people are saying, what's a sitcom? But it's not a sitcom, because sitcom is comfort entertainment where you know what you're going to get every week. So you pick a sitcom. If you Frasier, okay, so you know that it's going to be Niles and Frasier. They're going to be uptight over some kind of thing. They're going to be, they're going to be like arguing about opera or something, whatever. The dad's going to be like, "Oh, you guys are all idiots." Niles is going to be having some jokes with Daphne because he likes her, but she doesn't know it. Roz is going to be like, "Oh, I can't find a date." Like, and then that concludes, right? And then the next week you're like, "Oh, I want to see, the next misadventures." Like, what's Niles going to do now? What's he going to say? Is he going to tell Daphne next week? Right? Like, I like Cosby Show, right? It's like, okay, Theo's going to be in school. He's going to do something goofy over a girl, or something's going to happen at school. And then Cliff's going to have to be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then Vanessa's going to have some problem or whatever with boys or whatever. Like, it's like, that's what sitcoms are. And people make fun of that. It's like, oh, here we go. Yet another week of, Vanessa having boy problems and, Cliff has to come in and solve it. Right. But that's why it's comfort entertainment. It's like, what you're going to get every time. Friends is the same way. Oh, Joey's going to be dating some girl. It'll be silly. and Phoebe's gonna say some goofy things, and Ross and Rachel, are they together? Are they not together? Are they gonna get back together? Right? Like, this is what that show is. If you don't like it, you just simply say, well, I'm not a fan of this concept. That's what sitcoms are. But what is this? And then there's shows where it's like, okay, it's like miniseries style, right? Where it's like, okay, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, this is progressively continuing on to something where you're like, okay, they're hunting the Flag Smasher. Okay, they've got, U.S. agent has now come in. His friend has now been killed by the terrorists. Now he's gone berserk, right? They're trying to keep him at bay. They're also trying to capture the Flag Smashers. They have sympathy with Flag Smasher. Like, I'm not, it's garbage, but like, I understand like what's happening in the shows. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, Falcon's trying to stop all this, right? And then Bucky's trying to get his humanity back and kind of right some of the wrongs he did. Like, what is She-Hulk? Like, what is it? But this is the thing. It's bad. It's just as bad as all the other ones. But what makes it especially bad is that there's absolutely not one grain of, like, 1 minute of anything that makes any kind of sense to anyone. You're like, okay, they're doing this case, but why are they doing it? Like, you watch them yelling at the guy, right? So those two women, one of them is her friend, right? One of them is her coworker. The other one is a coworker. It's like the woman who's the main defense attorney. But this is about She-Hulk being a defense attorney. What? Okay, if it was She-Hulk and her friend yelling at that guy, it's still bad.
It was, but it was like I wasn't even prepared
She-Hulk's
for.
Case.
Like, there was like 17 different people there.
Right. Like,
I'm like, why is there 100 people in this room? Why would there be 100 people in a room for a divorce mediation?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
It doesn't make sense. I know. None of it makes sense. It's bad. But like, I don't think you're like, so you didn't watch all of it. You're not really grasping the level of weirdness. It's like those characters are not main characters at all. It's like, why is this scene happening?
Yeah.
Like, I can't give you let me give you an example. I need to know a show that we both saw that we both know about. Oh, like, what's something we both watched? Like that's like a semi-decent show. Hey, hello, Anthony. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about wrestling in just 1 second. We're just getting some Marvel stuff off our chest.
I don't know, Daredevil.
So Daredevil. So you're watching Daredevil. You're like, okay, so let's say that like Foggy meets someone, and then that person and like Karen Page's landlord are like going on an adventure. You're like, what is this? Like, why am I seeing this scene?
Yeah.
The only reason you're seeing the scene is so that they can make fun of that guy. Like, to say men are bad. But like, it doesn't make any sense in the world of She-Hulk, in the world of the real world, in the world of like what you're saying. Why would there be so many people present? Like, there's so many levels to it being bad that it's baffling. It's not, as I say, The Room. Oh, The Room is bad. Oh, it's bad acting and the writing's terrible. That's it. It's very easy to say, oh, the writing's bad. It's terribly acted. That's The Room's review. It's bad acting and bad writing. What's She-Hulk's review? Bad writing. Well, why is it bad writing? Because there's nothing. Like, they just wrote not. Like, it's bad writing because they didn't, like, Tommy Wiseau didn't really understand people and how they interact with each other and how they talk, and it comes across bad. This is just like nonsense. Like, I'll just write something now. I really dislike that Greg the Hammer Valentine figure. I hate that entire line. I'm going to just make a scene about how that toy line sucks. You're like, what's the context of this scene? Nothing.
No, there was no connective tissue I saw, but I was just
there's none. Like, that's it. Like,
there, like, but the writing was like so bad. Like, I can't even describe. This is stuff I would write when I was 8.
No, I don't think so, because you'd still have a focus when you're 8. I looked at stories that I wrote in grade school, and I still kept them. And I'm like, yeah, I see what I was going for here.
Yeah,
I've reworked some of those because I still had an idea of a story of what I want to say. This is not like it's like I don't know who could write. I don't know who wrote it. Like, it doesn't seem. It literally seems like maybe it's a computer or something, like, where they just put a topic in. Like, maybe they just kept hitting Google. Have you ever seen Google where if you go to if you do it through, let's say, Gmail, if you don't have Gmail. Okay, so if I sent you through Gmail, if you send me an email in Gmail, saying, hey, J man, you know, do you want to meet up to go see a movie? If you write that to me, I can let Google respond to the whole thing.
Yes.
Like it'll start saying, yeah, okay, I'll see you at that time. Like it literally is a send. It doesn't just say okay. Like it says, sounds great. I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, what the hell? Right. So it's like, it's just a tap and it does that.
I think you're right. I think that's how She-Hulk was written. I think it was written by Google.
Right. It's like men suck. And then it's like response. Yeah, they're terrible. Like that's how the dialogue was written by letting, because it just goes on to a topic. Right. Anyway. All right. Okay. Let's get on to we're gonna deep dive this tomorrow. But I'm gonna watch it tomorrow morning, and because Daredevil. Did you see the Daredevil clip?
No.
Where he's fighting She-Hulk. So he's fighting her, and there was a good line because she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass," and then he like flips and jumps around, and she misses him. She keeps missing him with all her hits. He's like, "My ass doesn't look like it's kicked right now," or something like that. I was like, "Yeah, you made fun of her. That's all I care about." Okay, so NXT I watched. There's only 3 bullet points. Fallon versus Mandy.
Mandy won, which was not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
It looks like Fallon put up a good fight, but
yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, but Mandy's not dropping that. Like maybe Alba Fire could beat her if she's going to get a main roster call up. Maybe. Because Kaylee Ray, Alba Fire, was the NXT UK champ. Perhaps. But Fallon is not beating Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I liked Alba Fire. She on last night's episode, she beat up Toxic Attraction in the parking lot.
Yep.
And hey, Double C. No, we changed the date to today just for this week.
Yeah.
We had some personal stuff on the side. By the way, Double C, did I show? Oh, I can show you. I don't think I showed you guys my. So there's a much longer shout out from Lacey Evans, but I only clipped 1 second of it just to show everybody.
Hey, J-Man.
Shout out from Lacey. I'll give you some updates on her because I was like chatting with her a bit through her YouTube channel the other night. So we went back and forth a little bit on stuff. She wants to do more streaming. So I was talking to her about StreamYard and how easy it is to set up. And I was giving her pricing and saying that I've been using it. It's like, what is happening here? So then I literally messaged her. I said, if you literally want to message me, I will help you set it up because whatever. She doesn't know anything like on tech. Like somebody was like saying, can I ask you a question? And they're like, she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you can ask me a question. She's like, I don't know how to block anyone. She's like, so if it's something weird, she's like, I'll figure out how to block you later. and then the guy just asked like the most mundane question, like, do you think Ronda Rousey's good? It's like it was like some lame question. You're like, oh, okay. She's like, was that the question? It's like, that's nothing. So it's literally she just woke up the other like on one morning and it's like, oh, I'm going live. I'm like, what the shit? So I got on there right away. And then last night she went live, just random, and just like random talking about nothingness. And she's like, oh, I just want to interact more. Like, do you guys have any ideas for what we could do for a stream? And she's like, should I get a different streaming service? So I started telling her about StreamYard and stuff. And she's like, oh, that sounds good. She's like, okay, what? She's like, what's the cost and all that? So I was giving her the cost. I was like going in the thing, giving her the pricing.
They got a deal now, $19.99.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm like, I'm not with StreamYard.
Call my guy.
Yeah, it's like, so I messaged, I mean, she gets lots of messages. So I messaged saying, hey, if you want help, I'll help you out. That'd be awesome if she actually takes me up on that and I help her set up.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm gonna have to put her
on a stream here. That'd be even better.
Oh my god! And I would definitely have to swap out.
Yeah,
I'd have to definitely put her on here.
Who's the most expendable? Aaliyah, you're gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Aaliyah's gone. I'm putting Lacey Evans tonight on that. So yeah, it was a good match. NXT has a lot of good female stuff. Okay, so then Sol Ruka, I guess, versus Omri Miller. Yes, it was her debut.
Yeah, it was 2 faces, I think, because they were both.
Yeah, they were hugging and all that.
Yeah, Luca, I think, is it was her debut. I think she was a gymnast or something.
I saw her. She looks pretty good.
Yeah, she was a gymnast, or she was amateur, or both, or I have no idea. But she looked pretty good. She got the win. Good for her. I don't know her, so it'll take a while to figure out what she is.
Yeah. And then we had Caden Carter with Katana Chance versus Nikita Lyons. Nikita won that,
Lyons
right?
won.
Yeah, she won that, right? I don't know. I don't know why.
I don't see how they tried to do a whole thing this week where like they were talking, the two of them, and they're like, "Oh, we're friends and all that." I'm like, I don't know, guys. I saw Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons against Toxic Attraction, and they beat them pretty decisively. Like Zoe Stark looks really good in the ring. Her Z360 knee is like really awesome. I don't know. I think there's going to be a title change because Stark and Lyons look really good together. So
yeah. So this was last night's NXT.
Yeah.
And they had the qualifying match or whatever. But yeah, we can. We can talk. We may or may not talk about it. We'll see how it goes. That's pretty much it for NXT. Now NXT does run late, so I set my PVR to 20 minutes late, and it was 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh wow!
So I've been losing a lot of time in between, and I knew it because I was like, because matches would be like, whoa, that match didn't end. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, that's why. So I was make sure to PVR it a bit more. Like you could set it to 5 minutes or whatever. So I just set it to 25 minutes after, just in case. All right. So we'll do SmackDown. So Shotzi, she was
against Bailey.
Yeah, but she was doing something. This is in the beginning. She was like scheming or something, talking about the sideline, something on the sidelines. I can't remember what happened with that. What was going on with there? Because I tried to make a note. I tried to keep it all to one page, and it was like flowing over. So then I started to like try to squeeze notes
in the margins.
And I can't tell what the hell I wrote here, but something with Shotzi in the beginning. It was probably just maybe it was like a segment or an interview or something.
Yeah, I think it was an interview. She came out and she's like, "Oh, I don't like bullies and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. It's like, okay. She came out in the tank again, which was nice.
Yeah, the tank was cool. Yeah, so that's actually the match, right? That was okay. Then Ronda, I guess talking about Liv and all that, getting extreme and all that crap.
Tell me, Ronda's not a heel now.
She is a heel. Yeah, she's a heel.
Yeah, I figured it out finally. She did bring back the tank finally.
I like the tank. I like Tank Girl, the movie too. I don't know why.
I love the tank. But Ronda's a heel. What really cemented it for me was she comes down to the ring. She would not. Usually, she used to go like like the faces all. She didn't go near anyone. She just sort of smirked at them. I'm like, all right. She's a heel, but it's Ronda Rousey heel style, where it's like I'm just going to come into a ring and beat up people, and that's it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah,
she should be on her own anyways. Like just let her just do her thing, and then she's heel or whatever. It doesn't matter.
She beat the hell out of Natalya though. Natalya got smoked.
Yeah, so then we had Natalya versus Ronda, which was like, what the heck?
Yeah, it was over very quickly. Considering that they've had longer matches, I'm like,
and she tapped and everything. Natalya tapped.
Yeah. Like and this was in Canada.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it was in Winnipeg. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, but okay.
That is weird.
And then Liv came out.
Yeah, with the bat.
Yeah.
They had a fight outside, and there was like the tug of war to get the thing. That the security came out.
Well, at least they're giving Liv more of a chance.
Sorry, anytime you see Sean and I do this, that's from Breaking 2.
Right.
The guy's like, you lost your edge. I'm like, oh shit! He put the fingers up. You lost your edge. I was like, I'm gonna clip that I'll clip that. But like, anytime Sean and I do, you lost your edge. It's like shit.
Yeah, Liv. At least she came out with an edge.
Yeah, I mean, why I like Liv. I can't. Liv Morgan is my one person where I don't like to see her getting beat up, and that's what happens most of the time. So I'm gonna feel bad for her this Saturday at Extreme Rules. She's just gonna get beat up for 30 minutes or whatever.
Well, I figure she's going to give as good as she gets. I think it'll be a back and forth.
Yeah, I just don't like seeing her get beat up at all. Like it's like
because she sells it so she sells it like she's being murdered.
I know, and I'm like, it's like, stop it! You're hurting her. Leave her alone, you bastards. Hey Joe, how's it going? Yeah, it's Wednesday today.
Hey Joe.
Hey Joe, did you see my? I'll do my Lacey Evans shout out again.
Hey J Man.
That's from her stream. I linked her channel in the description. It's Limitless Lady. So she's gonna be doing more for fans and stuff coming up. She's got like 20,000 subscribers, but like not many videos. Or she's actually pretty funny. She's been doing these like reports on like the storm and stuff, and it's just like you're like, what is going on? It's like, okay. So yeah, but she is pretty interactive, so she will like chat with you and stuff. So we chatted a bit, just going back and forth about StreamYard and everything. So that was pretty good. But yeah, so okay, so that was Natalya and Ronda. Natalya taps, which is crazy. I mean, she could just pin.
But it was like she didn't get much offense in.
Yeah.
It seemed like Ronda smoked her pretty good. I'm like, that's a little bit. I found that match weird. I was like, ooh, that's like, was it like because you knew it was going to come out and they went so long?
That's exact. The problem is that is when sometimes I get taken out of it.
Yeah.
It's like when you're watching a movie and then there's like a cameo or something comes in and you're like, oh, that wasn't supposed to be the guy. But like it's like, sometimes it's better not to know too much about the making of something.
Yeah.
But the second she tapped, like, oh yeah. So Liv came out like, oh, there you go. The referee's like, hurry up, we got to shorten this match up. Hurry up and do something. Yeah. So we can get, because we're running out of time or we need extra time and they're going to just beat each other up now for 10 minutes or whatever. I'm like, what do you get? But I don't like it at the expense of Natalya tapping out.
Yeah, I agree. Natalya is in my top 5. So when she gets made to look weaker, that sort of annoys me.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Then we had Bayley versus Shotzi. And then she was like, oh yeah, no Dakota, no EO.
Yeah.
She brought the tank out with the helmet and all that.
Yeah. It's great to see.
It's good to see. I felt that this match had a little bit of the waiting game.
Yeah.
This was okay. This match, well, tell me if you agree. This was a very weird match. It was like, I don't know what the term is, 50-50. Like it was either, oh, that was a brutal hit, or that was awful.
Yeah.
Like it was like either the hits, it was 50-50. I was like, oh, that was good. I'm like, oh, this was bad. Oh, she's waiting, right? It was either an awesome move and like some good hits, or it was like there wasn't just like normal matches. Like, yeah, they hit a bit, they do it. It was either like, oh, you've missed, or she was waiting for that, or that was really in slow motion, or it was like, well, that looked pretty good. Oh, that was quite good. Like, I don't know what happened. It was just such a weird match. You need to edit that out. If you would have edited out the bad parts, it would have been awesome.
I think the problem is that they both worked at different paces, and it really led to a very uneven match. Shotzi's very frenetic. She's on top of you. This family friend of ours who unfortunately is no longer with us. When he was talking about wrestling, he's like, "You know why Stone Cold Steve Austin is so awesome?" I'm like, "Because he's got his own 316 shitter." He's like, "Well, yes, but." It's because Steve Austin in the ring never stops. Like if you look at him, he's relentless. If he's attacking you, he's kicking the shit out of you. And then he walks off and then he comes back and he knees you and something. And he's like, there's no room to get a breath. Like the breaths with Steve Austin were kind of, unless you were beating the crap out of him and then you slowed down, it was like bang, 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 bang. Right? Like it was him beating the crap out of you relentlessly. And Shotzi seems to be like that sort of person who she's on top of you and doing that. Bayley has wrestled very methodically since she's come back. She is very, very, not, I don't want to say slow, but she doesn't the
Yeah,
pace
this is not the
there.
Bailey from that CD I had
Right.
or that DVD I had of her fighting.
Yeah, when she was fighting Sasha, it was like
and
insane.
stuff. It was like, yeah, like these insane matches. So she's becoming, I don't want to say Bret Hart because she's not as good as Bret Hart, obviously, but like it's like this different style Bailey now. Like this is the more like, yeah, I'm calculating the moves and it's like all that stuff. And then Shotzi's just like, rah!
Yeah,
it's like,
she's chaotic, right? Like that's how they market her. She's chaotic in the ring.
right.
She does crazy stuff and she's on top of you. She's on top of you trying to figure out what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey's very calculating. So it was kind of like Shotzi's all over Bailey, but Bailey's not ready to have this match right now or take this move right now or do this right now. And it was just bizarre. Like, I think it came out okay, but it was like, I agree, it was very uneven.
Yeah, no, there's some hits. I was like, well, that looked pretty good. You know, that was pretty good. And then you saw something like, oh boy, or not that the hits were bad. It was more like waiting.
Yeah, there was a lot of wait there. When Bailey was in control, it was like,
oh, it's like, okay, it's like I could have gotten a pizza and come back and got out of
it was weird. It was just Bailey is just slow. She's slow.
Yeah, she's like completely slowed down her tactics and all that. Okay, and then there was she did the rose plant, right? Bailey wins.
Bailey won, not a shock.
Bianca had to come out.
Yep.
And do her stuff or whatever. So, I mean, it was all pretty standard stuff. Raw had a lot more going on. I found that usually Raw isn't as pumped up, but this week Raw took out of the 3 shows. Usually NXT is like the winner, but this time Raw there seems to be a lot of good stuff with Raw. And when we get to the contract signing, I want to ask your opinion before I give my opinion on the contract signing. But so this was Candice LeRae, who's that what's his face?
Johnny Gargano's wife.
You know, Johnny Gargano, I can't get into him like at all. Like I'm just like, yeah, boring. I don't know.
I like him. I like his moves. He's very frenetic. I like him walking past The Miz and Dexter Lumis, and then he comes back and Dexter Lumis is gone, and he's like,
is Dexter Lumis the guy who's like lurking in the back or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, that entire segment has become like a joke fest, and it is pretty funny, I have to say, because it's just like he'll pop up and like I want to see him like, you know, come out of a toilet seat or something.
I want to see him pop out of Otis's singlet. I want him to pop out of there. Or Braun Strowman's tank top. Dexter Lumis' papers.
Like, I mean, he's pretending to be a statue or whatever. I mean, it's too much. I can't take it. And like, I would, if like, man, don't put me in charge of that angle because I will really make it out. You remember Agent 13 from Get Smart? He would appear and like, he'd be like, they'd open up like a file cabinet and he'd be in the filing cabinet. And in the Get Smart reunion movie, I love Get Smart, by the way. In the Get Smart reunion movie, they're like, he's talking to him in a fire hydrant. He's like in a fire hydrant. And he's like, and then he's like, oh, he goes, oh, I heard the president is going to reactivate you or something. He's like, how did you know that? He's like, oh, I have a friend in the White House. So he's like, oh, he goes, oh, he's literally in the White House. He's in the plumbing. So I keep thinking about this guy like popping out of like fire hydrants. He goes to dry his hands and like, it's like he comes out.
I just like he drew him a picture of him and the Miz, and the Miz had a cake or something. I'm like, I
like, what is this? Yeah,
sure.
I mean, it's really outrageous. I do like outrageous angles.
Yeah.
And that guy's just like, oh my God, buddy, take a pill.
I'm curious if he actually wrestles.
You're like, what is happening with it? And why, I don't know. The Miz is funny to me, and I gained a whole lot more respect for him from the Marine movie that we watched and reviewed. Because I liked him in that movie, and then he died. I was like, oh my God, he's dead.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like the Miz. He's pretty funny. And he was on that one of the Chef
Master Chef Junior.
Master Junior, yeah. Which I thought was pretty fun. All right, so yeah, boot to the face wasn't too bad this time. I found. I think they got a good angle. They had it from like the back corner.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they found the angle.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's where you got to be every time. Note to the switcher: make sure you switch cameras
when she's about to,
because it looks better this time.
Well, she did this pump cake to her in the middle of the ring. I'm like, why isn't that her finisher?
That's better too.
Why is she doing this thing where she's got to be against the ropes? I'm like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, it looked okay to me this week.
It looked good. It finally looked good. She looked better. Though they did screw up the scorpion kick. They sort of cut away when she was doing the whole thing. The scorpion kick is the hit isn't good, but her doing the handstand and bringing her legs up is cool. Good. So they missed that by like maybe half a second to make it look actually good.
Yeah, it was all right.
You didn't see her do the scorpion kick.
Yeah.
Overall, the match was fine. Dakota won, which I didn't think would happen. Candice LeRae, was staring up at the lights at the end. It was a wishy-washy finish, which is what I did. But the actual finish was kind of botched because she was up, and it looks like Bayley missed her, and then an invisible hand knocked her off, and then
I thought so too.
Dakota, and they replayed it, and it was even worse on the replay. I'm like, you guys missed badly. It was almost like Bayley went up to hit her, and Candice put her head back, and then Candice realized she wasn't in the right position. She brought her face forward, but Bayley had already gone, and then she just fell backwards because the invisible man punched her, and then she was holding her midsection. I'm like, but you weren't even hit there. I was like completely confused.
Yeah, I think she tried to make it sell it as though the rope hit her, like hit her abdomen or something. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I'm like, I don't know what happened there, but it looks weird. Maybe Frodo Baggins was there and was wearing the ring, and I've been watching the Hobbit movies this week. It's Bilbo with the ring. I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. So, but yeah, Dakota wins, so that's cool.
And then the contract signing.
Yeah. I wrote a note here. Importance of allies. Oh yeah, they're talking about the allies and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, so that was cool. Okay, so contract signing. I actually have quite about some notes on this. What did you think about this contract signing?
Well, whenever we can get rid of Corey Graves out of the ring, I'm always happy. First of all, I can't stand that guy. I don't know. Since Pat McAfee's been gone, SmackDown has been brutal for me to listen to him commentate because there's no art to him being a heel. He's just like, he says the obvious thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not clever. He's not funny. He's just says he's just like abrasive and annoying. I'm like, this is not entertaining to me. I don't, for the life of me, like Corey Graves as a commentator. He might be a perfectly nice guy in real life, but like, I can't stand him. And if I was a wrestler, I would use every opportunity to say that he sucks.
I start to lose who I can't tell the difference in between the commentators sometimes. Like NXT has Wade Barrett, who I really like.
Yeah.
And I could tell, like, okay, Wade's talking. Like, I can't tell who's talking on half these other shows.
Yeah, it's hard, especially Raw. It's really bad. You know who it is on SmackDown. It's Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. They're very different styles, and I actually prefer those two together. But the Raw guys are brutal. The Raw guys are brutal. I don't know if Jimmy Smith is talking or Byron Saxton.
I don't know.
I only know Corey Graves because it's always the obvious heel thing. I'm like, okay, so that's Corey Graves.
Right.
But the other two are vanilla face commentator 1 and vanilla face commentator 2. I have no idea.
All right, so yeah, contract signing Bailey and Bianca. They came out. Let's give you the first ladder match for the belt. That's cool.
My thing is, both of them, like I was listening to Bailey, and she was going, I'm like, I agree with everything she's saying. I agree with everything she's saying. Yeah. Every single thing. She was saying, like, before you or it was me, I was like this, and then downward spiral, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what happened. She had to get a new gimmick, and she found this, and she's better at it. And I'm like, yeah. But then Bianca talked, and I'm like, I agree with everything she's saying, too. I'm like, this is impossible. Both came off looking really good. I think they did it Double C to make people's lives, and me in particular, living hell. I cannot stand Corey Graves. I miss Pat McAfee terribly.
Well, he's married to Carmella, right? Maybe to keep them on the same. Are they both? Is Carmella on SmackDown?
She's on SmackDown, but like Corey Graves is on both now.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. I have no idea.
I have no idea, but like Pat McAfee, if he's on vacation or something, or he's not well, like get well soon, Pat. Come back, please, God.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he will come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we never talked beforehand about wrestling, at least until the stream. But I agree with you. Everything you said, I super agree. I'm watching this. I was like, this is my favorite contract signing.
Yeah.
There's ever been.
Yep.
Ever. This was the only time where she's talking. I was like, oh yeah, shit, that's pretty good. Like everything Bailey said, I was like, wow. And I like Bailey, so I'm biased, but I'm not that biased because I really like Bianca too.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, yes, Bailey, you're right. You go, girl. You're saying that's it. You're good. Everything you're saying is right. And then Bianca starts talking. It's like, damn, that's a pretty nice little comeback. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, this is the best contract signing that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of these newbie people who saw a movie 5 minutes ago and now thinks it's better than everything else that's ever come out. Like my top 10 movies, the last time my top 20 changed was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Prior to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the last time my top 20 changed was Lord of the Rings, or I guess Hobbit Part 3. Other than that, my top 10, and then after that, it's like Aliens, Warriors, Karate Kid, right? It's the Back to the Future, Temple of Doom, right? It's the generic crap that you know. The only time that something snuck in was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's a new movie. And the last time it changed before that was Battle of the Five Armies, which I just call Lord of the Rings and just put the whole thing as one.
Yeah.
Right. That's the last time it changed. So whenever Battle of the Five Armies came out, but even you do it right. So yeah, I'm like, I never say anything. Oh, this is the best, but this is the best contract signing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So they talked about Bailey saying, "Do you feel safe?" Which is great. The ladder's symbolic for the climb. The ponytail and all that, and the signs and everything.
And then everyone's doing that.
And then Bianca's like, the big 1 year plan, and this is the true you now. That's so good.
I was like, my God, I never thought of that. Like, yeah, it's working now because this is you. You've shown your true colors. I'm like, oh damn.
I'm wondering who wrote this. If they came up with this on their own, then Bianca and Bailey did a really good job.
Yeah. If
someone wrote this script for them, then that was good too.
Yeah.
And then Damage Control, and then it turned into the normal contract signing. Everyone gets beat up. For the contract signing, Bailey started out slow, and the crowd was giving her the what treatment. Got better at the end. No, I know.
Yeah.
No, this was the best in my opinion. Yeah. I'm like, wow, the best ever contract signing that I've ever seen. Because usually they're so bad.
Yeah.
it's not even that this one was a little bit better. This one's like obviously the best one ever. Every other one I've ever seen has been so tiresome. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet you at the next pay-per-view event because I'm the best. No, I'm gonna beat you at the pay-per-view because I am even bester than your best. I'm bester than your bestestness. No, I'm the bestestness ever. No. And then fight and like, oh, why is this happening? It's like it's just so stupid. This one actually had like points. Like she's like, let me explain what happened. I was the ponytail. I was the girl who everyone loved and had signs and wore headbands and had their, put their pigtails on the side and all that crap. And then everyone said, screw you. And it's like, and then I had to come back and then it's like, no, Bailey. You became the real you. And that's why you're, trash right now. It's like, oh shit. Like this was a really good, like this was actually proper. And then it became a fight.
It felt very natural. And then, Damage Control beat up Asuka. And, okay, there was such a missed opportunity here with Alexa. And I'll explain why in a second. But I really like the contract signing. You had to go with someone's got to get beat up in one of these. Fine, cool. At least
that's
right. Like
that's standard. Yeah.
That. The missed opportunity was they almost did it. And I'm kind of like, you're this close from doing the right thing with Alexa Bliss because she was there and she was huffing and puffing and the cameras linger on her. I'm like, oh my God, is it finally going to happen? Because this is what Alexa Bliss needed. For the love of God, like she's gotten beat up so many times. Alexa Bliss needed to come out. Io Sky comes out and she needed to beat the crap out of her. And the referee gets her off her and then she throws the referee, like punches him out. Like you got to get to the point where Bailey and Dakota and Io are like, we don't like legit want to face her because she's crazy and she's going to do something dangerous. That's what you got to do with Alexa Bliss. They almost got there. She got pissed off. She marched out. She didn't do her usual shit. She just came out and she's like, as soon as Io came out, she's on top of her. And the commenters are like, yay, she's showing life in that now finally and all that. I'm like, yeah, but she still lost.
They're working. They're getting there slowly.
Yeah.
They're getting there slowly. What are the Extreme Rules? It's going to be Liv and Ronda and Bailey Bianca, right?
Yep.
Is that it?
For the women, yeah.
Yeah, that's it for the women. So
and Asuka wasn't coming out dancing in that. She came out with a freaking candlestick, which I'm like, but she was also selling an injury.
Yeah, she was selling an injury. So, well, we had Alexa versus Io Sky. I mean, there's a bunch of Sky wins. They came out with
Io Sky won. It was actually one of the better matches I've seen both of them wrestle in a while.
Yeah.
But Io Sky looked really good. At least Alexa didn't botch the interference like Candice did.
Right.
But I mean, they're so close with Alexa now, but I don't know which way they're going to go. There's rumors that Bray Wyatt is going to come back at Extreme Rules. Because I don't know if you caught this when Candice LeRae was talking. The screen went funny and then a parcel showed up for 1 second.
Okay, I didn't know if that was if that was like a mistake or what the hell was that was.
I think that's real, and I think he's got something to do with that.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. I saw that too. I'm like, why is that happening?
Yeah, that I thought that too, Joe. I was like, why is Alexa Bliss in the main event again? It was just a little bit weird to me, but I'm like, it's weird only because they haven't been doing anything with her character.
Right.
And it's very painfully obvious they got to turn her heel at some point and make her that crazy, deranged character again. But I'm like, when is it happening? And who's it going to happen on?
it's not going to be happening this Saturday, I'm assuming. But
Unless she shows up.
Unless she shows up. But no, I think we'll do our predictions in a bit too. They're going to do it soon. They will do it soon. I can see that they're working up to it. As you said, I thought it might even happen right there. I was like, it might happen right now, but it didn't. That's like it will happen. They're going to turn her. They'll turn her like full or whatever. I think they're just going to make her insane. So like no one can work with her. It won't even be like she's not going to join damage control. She'll just be insane or whatever. But that there's your ending. That's awesome.
Yep.
That was actually I might keep this picture up here. That's pretty good. That's awesome. I deleted it, but let me restore that because I didn't realize that picture was so good. Oh, it's not that clear when you look at it on my computer. I have like a kick-ass monitor, so. But yeah, there you go. That's how you end. That's how you end Raw, baby. Woohoo!
There you go.
Damage control on top. So, what do you think about? So, Extreme Rules is this Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So, we talked about NXT. We got SmackDown, and then Extreme Rules, and then Raw. So, did you see anything for Toxic Attraction, which is basically what it is? For NXT this week, I guess we could cover it really quickly. Toxic Attraction got attacked in the parking lot, which the commentators are like, the most dangerous place is the parking lot. I do like when people are arriving in full costume, ready to go, and then they get attacked in parking lots. I'm like, it's so funny to me. It's like, I what is happening? Oh, you know what I just thought of? What's that guy's name who appears everywhere? That Michael Myers guy?
Oh, Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis. I want to see Dexter Lumis at the frozen food section at like a Walmart. Like Miz is like at a grocery store, and he opens the fridge door to grab he grabs like pizza pockets, and when he moves the thing, it's like the guy's face. I would have that be a dream sequence. I would have Miz. It's like, oh, cameras. Like Miz wakes up. Miz is sleeping in his bed, and he's dreaming that he's going into the fast food or he's going into the supermarket, and then that guy's face is behind the pizza pops or something. And then he wakes up. He's like, oh my god, that was a terrible dream. He's like, what's the wife's name? Maurice.
Maurice.
Maurice. He's like, Maurice, honey. And then it turns around, and it's like him in the bed. He's like, and then he wakes up again. He's like, oh my god.
I'm just like so curious. Like, what is Dexter Lumis's plan?
And then I want him on a date with Maurice. Like he's waiting for Maurice. She's running late, and she's like, "Sorry, honey, I'm running late. I just have to do my hair." And then you zoom up, and it's like Dexter. He's like, ah. It's like I'm seeing him everywhere. I can't stop seeing him.
And then the Miz has the Marine posters up in his house,
and it's him. Yeah, he's watching. He's like, "Oh, let's watch Marine Part 5. That was great." You know, it's like him as the Marine, and they reshot some of the stuff. Man, I told you they don't want me handling this angle. I will make it the absolute silliest thing ever. Okay, so yeah, Lash. I like Lash Legends, man. She's pretty cool. So she was talking some smack to Wendy Chu, and then Wendy Chu, they came out. Wendy Chu is just like funny. Like
I literally, I'm still wrapping my head around Wendy Chu, and she won, which seemed to me
that was weird.
It was odd. It was very odd. She won with a splash, and I'm kind of like, I was literally like, I don't get it. Lash Legend is like big,
sure,
and like Wendy Chu is this short little lady with pajamas, and I'm like, she won. And I'm like, okay.
So like,
I literally did not get it. This was like not Kevin Nash versus Rey Mysterio style, but it was like, I don't know who's fair. Drew McIntyre versus Rey Mysterio style, and Rey Mysterio wins with a splash, and I'm kind of like,
Yeah, no.
Who booked this?
Yeah,
It was just
that was
very weird to me. I was very weirded out by this entire thing.
It looked like it felt like, yeah, she was scripted to win. Like that's what.
Yeah, this definitely, it felt scripted. It didn't, unfortunately, it didn't feel earned. I don't know. It didn't.
There's like the tag champs. There was a segment on the tag champs.
Yeah.
Who.
They're friends. They're like, I came from the gymnastic world. I've always wanted to be a wrestler. I'm like, okay. And you're going to get beat next week.
Right. We were friends, and we have different styles, and who'd have thought we'd ever get along? I don't know. Are you Star Wars? Like, I don't know.
Where's Dexter Loomis?
Where's Dexter Loomis in this?
He appeared.
I always like. I don't like the Big Bang Theory TV show, but I do like the beginning ones where it was just Penny and the four guys. And there's one where I don't know if it was in the beginning ones where like, but Sheldon is doing charades and he's acting out something. And like Penny's just like not getting it. And she's like, I don't know, Sheldon, are you Star Wars? And he's like, well, how can one man be Star Wars? And it was just, I don't remember the actress's name, Kelly Cuoco or something.
Kelly Cuoco,
Cuoco. She's just like, her face, she's like, I'm literally lost. I have no idea. She's like, I don't know. And she's like trying. It's just like, it was like her best. She's like, I don't know, Sheldon, are you Star Wars? And it's like that's like my favorite part of all of Big Bang Theory, because she's really trying, but she just doesn't know, and she's like, I don't know, like, oh god. So that's what I'm thinking. She's like, this tag team's talking like, I don't know, are you Star Wars? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I was lost. I was like, okay, my god, this is the most generic segment ever. Two people wanted to be wrestlers and they succeeded. I'm like,
ever since I was 1 day old, I wanted to be a tag champion with you. Remember in have you seen the Lethal Weapon spoof, Loaded Weapon? Have you seen? Yes. Okay, so remember it was so Whoopi Goldberg is killed in the beginning by Tim Curry, and then Emilio Estevez is talking to Sam Jackson. And Emilio's like, oh, you know, my partner was killed or something. And then Sam Jackson's like, well, yeah, she was my partner for, I don't know, 10 years or something. He's like, well, this was my partner for whatever years. And they're one-upping each other on whose partner meant more to them.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, before that, we were in the academy together. And he's like, and before that, we breastfed together. Like, he keeps going back. He's like, we were on the force. We joined the force together. We were here for 10. We were cops for 10 years. Before that, we went to the academy together. Before that, we were in grade school together. And before that, we breastfed together. And Emilio's like, okay, I guess you won. Like, you're more angry than I am.
Yeah, I'm like.
And before that, we were in NXT. And before that, we were in college, wrestling. And before that, we were like, in kindergarten. And before that, like, it's like, okay, I don't care. Like, I get it. You're friends. Like, whatever.
Yeah, you two want, one person wanted to be a wrestler since they were a day old. The other one fell into it because her gymnastics career and she was an American, whatever. Like, what?
I know.
What is going on? I can't, I was like, I can't take this.
Oh, my God. And then we had, I guess it was Nikita and Zoe Stark versus Toxic Attraction. Stark had a couple of good drop kicks. I was thinking, shit, they look a couple of kicks look pretty good.
I like Stark a lot. I like watching her. I've actually really liked Nikita Lyons and Stark now.
I like Nikita Lyons also.
I just like to see them in the ring fighting. Like, it was awesome. That reminds me, back to Candice LeRae. I just remembered one thing.
Mm-hmm.
She had a sick German suplex on Dakota Kai. I think she was on the second ropes, and I was like, holy shit. She threw her. It wasn't a Bobby Lashley using Mustafa Ali as literally a lawn dart, but like, it was pretty bad. I was like, holy crap. She got her good.
No, yeah, no, like that was pretty good. Yeah, there's some good hits.
Yeah, but Zoe Stark, I love her Z360.
Yeah,
that move is awesome. I love the split. I know the split-legged pin is ridiculous, but I love it.
I like it too. I think it's kind of neat.
I just like the two of them together. Toxic Attraction is a really good team, and I like watching them. But I was glad Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark won. I
think Nikita Lyons is very special. She has that uniqueness.
Yeah.
And yeah, that Zoe Stark was pretty good too. But yeah, I liked it. And we had Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. Cora Jade, I kind of like her.
No, I like Cora Jade too. I loved the wheel. Unfortunately, they didn't have a ridiculous. It's like a Weapons Wild match. I was like, no, man, it's got to be something ridiculous, like a toilet paper match or something.
Well, I thought it was gonna be freaking. Thought it was gonna be Thunderdome. Like, bust the deal, spin the wheel. I thought, oh man, what's gonna happen here? And you know, and it wasn't. There was no like gulag or whatever. There wasn't any of that big stuff. but like,
yeah, I like Cora Jade. I think she works well as a heel. I don't know how she would have been as a face. Like as a face, I don't think I would have believed her that much.
Oh, she's awful. I didn't see much of her as a face, but like I just saw her. Like her look now is like way better.
Yeah,
like,
this is more like what she should be. So
yeah, I think they're gonna win, Nikita and Stark.
Yeah, I like Double C. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to be like, why not? I think it's got to happen.
I like that Cora gets to choose Roxanne's opponent and Roxanne and the WWE roster is up for grabs.
Yeah.
And Cora was like, oh, like somebody was like, oh, we're gonna make you face Omos. Roxanne Perez versus Omos.
Did you see this week? Omos was watching Braun Strowman's match. When those two collide, the amount of beef in that ring is going to be incredible. Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, Trekopedia, thanks for popping in. I like your shirt and I like Star Trek. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think Nikita's going to be.
Nikita's going to be the one to finally.
Yeah, I see Zoe Stark. I see Nikita and Zoe winning the tag belts.
Yeah,
and then eventually, like when Mandy Rose is being called up, I see Nikita Lyons beating her. If Alba Fire doesn't do it, Nikita Lyons will. Nikita Lyons has the look.
Oh, there you go, Steve.
Oh, thank God.
There you go.
Trekopedia, I hope and pray that Pat's back sooner than a few weeks from now because I can't take it. I can't stand Corey Graves.
Nope, you don't like Corey Graves. Do I have anything for that? I can put Superman. There you go.
And can I just say for the men, Bobby Lashley's like, I'm going to take Seth Rollins and use his head as a pinball. If there's a human being who possibly could legitimately do that, it's Bobby Lashley. Now, I ask you, storyline included, Bobby Lashley, who in their right mind wants to piss that guy off?
Yeah, he's huge. Not.
Yeah. He's literally a walking He-Man figure.
He is a He-Man figure, though.
I saw him, I'm like, this man's arms are bigger than my torso. Like, this is incredible.
Yeah. You think Alba's Fire's got the work? Yeah, she's. Yeah. I mean, she beat up Toxic Attraction in the parking lot, which is like awesome. I love the fact that people get beat up in parking lots.
Yeah, I could see Alba Fire being called up for sure. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Like, I think Mandy's close to getting called up. I don't know if it's happening now or it's going to happen like in a couple of months, but I think Mandy's going to get called up. I see Alba Fire getting called up pretty soon as well. So I don't know how it's going to run. There's a lot of talent on that show though that's probably going to need to get called up at some point. Look at this guy.
And let's look at see, look, he's Clamp Champ.
I think he's bigger than Clamp Champ. Like, I don't know.
Okay, here's there. Look, that's Clamp Champ.
I mean,
I'm gonna take this, and I'll do some photoshopping, and I'll make him Clamp Champ.
I swear to you, if that man walked down the hallway,
that would be kind of interesting. Charlotte's her honeymoon should be done.
I would be interested to see if Charlotte is one of the opponents for either Rebecca or Roseanne Perez or whatever her name is.
Oops.
Roseanne Perez, I think, or Cora Jade.
Oops, I did not want to do that. Sorry.
What did you put?
I accidentally typed Nikita Lyons measurements. Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, we just got canceled.
We got canceled. No.
Hey, J-Man.
Sorry. I did not mean that.
Yeah, it's no.
I like the team of Stark Lines. Yes, for sure.
She's only 23?
What? Oh my God. Yeah, 99.
That's incredible.
What the hell, eh? That's crazy. And it's funny too, because we had checked Wikipedia before on her. Wow. So yeah, she'll be an NXT for still a little bit more.
Yeah, she's got to stay down there for another year or so.
But I think she's pretty popular down there. I should add some NXT people to the bottom here.
Yeah.
Well, when I was on Lacey's stream there, it was just a lot of there wasn't a lot of talking about like what's going on, like because I was trying to ask like actual questions, but then I wasn't sure. I couldn't get the feel for, is this her just being herself and talking, because she was talking a lot about her like husband and kids and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, or it definitely wasn't Lacey in character. Right.
Well, like, I think it's because Lacey doesn't know what her character is right now. Like I don't know what her character is. She's a heel, but she's gone from what was going to be an interesting heel turn, which probably should have happened from the get-go, to I just come out and tell the fans to kiss my butt and then get in the ring and lose. I'm like, well, that's not very interesting.
Yeah. And I don't, and the thing is, it's like when she's on her thing, I'm see if I can bring it up here so people can kind of see. No, it's called Limitless. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so like this is her channel. So I was on this is the one I was on. And then I was also talking to her on this one as well. So it's like, it's just randomness. It's not going to play the sound, but like, see, it's awful quality, right?
Right.
So seeing it's only like half, it's just her talking normal. So it's not like anything. I don't know if that's even, that's showing. So it's just her talking normal. But I'm in the chat here. If you wait, I didn't get on until about like half an hour into it or something. But then I was, then she was talking about, I don't know if I can see, if you can see the chat here. Yeah, it doesn't, it's weird. It doesn't really keep up unless you watch it live, which I'm obviously not going to do. Yeah. So anyways, that's her thing right there. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. Yeah, so we were talking about her last week, right?
Yeah. It's
Joe,
not the week before. Spoiled rich girl.
yeah, I've not seen her actually. I've not seen her on there. So yeah, I've not seen her at all. Oh, her and Nikita Lyons. She's very muscular. This one's pretty muscular too. Oh, I don't think she's on Wikipedia, so I don't know her.
So do you
Oh, no,
want to
this
do
is
the
it.
predictions now?
Yeah, let's look at. Where's the girls? Oh, what the hell is this? Why is Becky on there? That must have just been a graphic before,
an
right?
early, yeah, or an early
graphic. Ooh, I like this picture. I have to save it. Sorry. Where's the like where's Bailey versus thingy? There's no graphic.
Yeah, I think you went past it.
No, that's
not it.
No, they don't have it. There's no graphic for her. That is so weird. All right, screw it. Just go like that then. All right, so I mean, who do you think's going to win here?
Liv.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah, I don't think I don't know how they're going to do it, but I don't see like why take the belt off Liv now. You had the chance.
Yeah, what would be the point, right?
Yep. I don't think you take.
I think Liv might win as well, but there's going to be something. Maybe Shayna or someone's gonna.
Yeah, that seemed to go no. That seemed to have not been mentioned. So I'm like, and Shayna hasn't been on lately. So I'm like, is she hurt? Like, what's going on? But
I don't know if they want us to forget about that and then boom, like spring it on us.
But if Shayna comes in, she's got to lay waste to both of them.
Yeah, I guess so. Because you don't want to make her like a good guy, right?
No.
Yeah, okay, so we'll say Liv. I'll say Liv as well. Extreme Rules. I guess I'll check what Bailey. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why there's no graphic. Oh, here you go. Bailey, Bianca. What do you think, man?
I'm going Bailey.
I don't know.
I'm going Bailey because I think they do want the gold all around damage control.
Yeah.
I see this being a long-term feud with her and Bianca. And I think you have to have if you have Bailey win it the first time, it becomes more interesting because Bianca's chasing it now.
Yeah.
Like if Bailey doesn't beat her at Extreme Rules, why do I take her next challenge seriously?
Yeah, I think she will beat her.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Bailey anyways. She's moved up to my number 2 after Becky, who will never be dethroned. But yeah, I like Bianca also, but I don't know, man. I think Bailey needs to win for the storyline to be anything because, like, you want this, right? Like,
yeah, I think you have to do that, and then I think you have Bianca come back. And the thing is that they gotta now string it out if that happens, because if she does win, Bianca can't win it back because you're going to have to set up then Becky versus Bailey.
Right.
That has to happen. And Becky's back when? She got hurt at SummerSlam. She's out, 4 to 6 months?
Yeah, they're just gonna make it like a while longer until you forget, and then she'll come back with I don't know, Joe. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you because it just seems weird now. I don't know. Like Ronda doesn't really need a belt. It doesn't affect her in any way.
I think this needs to be a turning point for the character. If Liv beats her legit, I think that needs to knock her down a peg because right now we've only had screwy finishes. We had Ronda wrestled a match and then Liv beat her, and then we had a screwy finish. I think this is the third time they legitimize a clean Liv win, which will be absolutely stunning. And then everyone's going to be like, oh, Ronda Rousey isn't the baddest woman on the planet because Liv Morgan beat her fair and square. And then Ronda Rousey loses her crap and goes on a rampage.
Top champion, not wrestling Extreme Rules, right?
Yeah.
I guess Bailey Bianca's the main event. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what else is the main? Like,
guys,
Roman Reigns doesn't wrestle, but I like the bloodline. Can I say this? Okay, when Sami Zayn, when he's like, take off that shirt, and he took off, he's like, because I've got another one for you. I was like, yeah. Him being the big honorary Uso and walking around, I'm like, I absolutely love this bloodline angle with Sami Zayn. I think it's great. I love that the one of the brothers doesn't like him.
Well, I mean, you know what's going to happen.
Well, it's going to break up, obviously, but
yeah. And then Sammy and Kevin Owens are going to become the new tag team champs.
And they're going to beat. Yeah, they'll beat, because Kevin Owens is like on fire right now.
Kevin Owens. I stop fast forwarding for Kevin Owens. If I see his face, I'm like, stop, play. Because there's there's some stuff I can't get through, right?
I only fast forward. So I've started to hardly fast forward at all. Just a couple of things, but Raw goes late. So what I usually do is I'll watch the first hour and a half or so on my TV, and then I'll watch another like half an hour or so on my iPad. I'm usually up till about 11, a little 11:10, something like that. So I'll usually watch, so I can watch the whole thing, but then sometimes it's like I start it late, right? Because there's like I was on Clobberin Times just the other day talking about DC Comics Presents number 29, great issue. Love Clobby, he's awesome. You know, everyone on here is already subscribed to him, so it doesn't matter. But so I was on with him, and then we talked like before the stream, and then we talked privately after the stream. So by the time I was done talking to him, I'm already an hour late on Raw. So now I'm watching the back hour up until 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. Yeah. So it's the back hour. So I don't get a chance to finish it, and then I watch the rest of the morning. So sometimes I do fast forward if I can. NXT, completely fast forward everything but the females. SmackDown, no, I don't fast forward either show unless it's something unless it's during a match that I don't care about. I try to hear the storyline elements, and then as soon as the match starts, I just fast forward till the winner.
Yeah, what I do is I read the results, and if I hear something interesting or that, I will watch that part of the match. But like a lot of these competitors, I can list them out for you. Fortunately, Rey Mysterio.
Oh boy.
You know, like Madcap Moss. I mean, a lot of these guys are just not interesting for me to watch. There are some guys that I still like watching. I watched the entire Bobby Lashley Mustafa Ali fight, and that was good because I like both of those guys. If it's a guy like even The Miz, he's got the same moveset. I'm used to it. I don't watch his stuff anymore. I'll only watch if Dexter Lumis comes out and does something ridiculous.
Well, I watch the Miz's like storyline stuff, but the match itself doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They've got this,
which
is pretty cool. I was thinking about getting that. The only problem is that it won't fit. It won't fit where my because I've got the Bailey one over here, and because this is not landscape, it won't fit.
Yeah,
and this is like portrait. I was like, so I was thinking this might be a cool one to get, but this is not 25% off, but the belts are. So I might grab. I was thinking about maybe grabbing the belts, but I won't. I don't think I'll grab them this time. I might grab them the next
shot,
the next time around. So I'd get this one and this one.
So yeah, like I wish I'm okay with them not having Roman drop the belt to Brock, but I really think they should have dropped it to Drew. He should have dropped at least one of them to Drew at Clash of the Castle, because Drew McIntyre is there every single day. I think it would have been, or every single show that he's supposed to be on. Sometimes he's on both. I think him versus Karrion Kross for the bout would have been very interesting.
Right.
Roman Reigns is not wrestling anymore. You know, he's just not wrestling. Ooh.
Oh, that's just like a plaque. It's only $30.
Yeah, no, I'm just a picture, man. Like,
and then this is like pretty good too. This is like
look at that middle one. She's on the rope. She's doing that pose.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wait, everyone has to wait.
Yeah. So these are all new. This style, these styles all just got added last week. So that's new. And then this one's Clash of the Castle. So yeah. And that gives you the piece of the mat. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
So I've got Bailey's. It's very good quality. But mine, they forgot to number. They actually forgot to put the number of which is
because it's limited edition, right?
Yeah, and they didn't put the number, so that's a fail. Yeah.
Yeah, heard that. Paige, I mean, I always liked her, and then I watched Fighting with My Family, and I liked her even more.
Yeah.
If she's not going to wrestle, I'm kind of like.
But it's Saraya. I'll have to watch. I'll have to watch the promo. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it too. I just struggle with. I like Paige. I know her actual name is Saraya, but I like Paige.
Yeah,
but if she's not going to wrestle, it's going to be kind of.
So I don't know what's going on. That's not off topic though. Yeah, that is on topic.
I don't want her as a manager. I want her back in the ring.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any other. I don't know if she is medically cleared. I don't know. Maybe it's either this or nothing.
Yeah, I think she's getting back to a point where she's medically cleared.
Mm-hmm.
AEW has CM Punk's gone now. Apparently, he's not coming back.
Man, he's got problems. He's got problems every 5 minutes, right? Like
I watched the promo he did,
mm-hmm.
and I literally he was doing it right beside the owner of the company,
right?
When he came out after that pay-per-view, and I was watching it, and I was just like, how brutal? He basically said there's a bunch of pricks in AEW he's been forced to work with and blah blah blah, and I'm like, who would want to work with this guy ever again?
Right.
It's just his ego has gone way too out of control, and Tony Khan is sitting next to him, and you can literally see he's trying to go along with it, but it's like,
no,
it's not working.
Right. So I mean, what is with that guy then? Like, why is he so?
I don't know. I think the problem became he did. So it was partly WWE's fault because they sort of screwed. He was hot and they screwed up how over he was. They didn't book him properly.
Right. Okay.
So I can agree with that. He was a long running champion as a heel. He's the guy who actually, Paul Heyman brought in the Shield to help him out. So the Shield came in because of CM Punk. And then he just, they misdiagnosed a staph infection. He was sick. But he was also not, again, in his opinion, being booked properly. And that was it. So he went to AEW, and everyone was pumped up in that. But I watched the promo. Punk said the guy went into Hangman Adam Page. He went into business for himself. Sure, I can see why he would think that, but it was kind of like he just seemed sour on everyone and everything. And he's like, he's cutting up Kenny Omega, the EVPs, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and all that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, this is getting too much where you're just complaining about everyone. It's like, maybe you should be in wrestling.
Right. Yeah,
if
so
you're
it's
that
like
power on everything, like, just don't wrestle anymore. Call it
yeah,
a day.
you're at the, well, maybe it is you now.
Yeah, well, now he's 44 years old.
Right.
So it's not like he's, got his entire career ahead of him. He had some great matches, I heard, with AEW. I didn't watch any of them, but like, it's at the point where I watched it and I was just like, it was like me watching a man dig his own grave. It was like a little bit hard to watch. Like, he was after everyone. Right. He was after the journalists. He was after his fellow wrestlers. He was after everyone. I'm like, maybe professional wrestling doesn't make you happy anymore. Maybe you should take up painting. I don't know. It was just really hard to watch.
Right, so. Right. Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, if you're literally pissed off all the time, and it's like, oh, this sucks and that sucks and whatever, and it's like, at some point, it's like, maybe it is you.
Yeah.
Right, and not them, and I've got this ready to go.
I recommend you try another sport, like knitting.
Well, he tried to. He joined UFC, and I think he lasted 2 matches. He got smoked.
So I don't know. So like, how many times has he been removed now, or left, or whatever?
This is it. Well, he didn't leave this time. He was legit injured. He tore a muscle in his arm.
Right.
But this is the second time I guess he's been let go of. Like, WWE did fire him on his wedding day, of all things. Great timing. Yeah. But I don't know. I could see his problems the first time. I think it was like 70% WWE and 30% him on the first one.
Right.
But this one is more, I don't know, like he's sitting there and it's like he's acting like he's the be all and end all of wrestling and they all have to hit his standards and be this and that. And I'm like, oh, and follow this tone and this route of the business. And I'm like, but that's not what's happening. Like, he hates MJF. He hates, the heads of AEW. He hates everyone. I'm like, you should just leave then at this point. And I think they did him a favor by letting him go, to be honest, or by saying he won't be back. Like,
right. Well, I mean, I never really cared about him that much. So it's the men's division. So it doesn't matter too much to me anyways. There's a lot of other, like, my whole thing is that there's a lot of guys out there that are pretty cool that you can do stuff with. If you don't want to be here, then don't. I mean, there's nothing, nobody likes someone who just sits there and complains all the time. You got people coming in, working every day, coming into every show, putting in good matches, doing their time, paying their dues, and they want it. And if you don't want it, it's like, all right, you don't want it, no problem. We don't need you, right? It's like, all right, see ya.
Well, I mean, you look at a talent like Mustafa Ali, and you could say that he's been great talent, overlooked. But he has a great match with Bobby Lashley this week, and it's literally like Bobby Lashley couldn't make him submit with the Hurt Lock. He literally passed out. And I'm like, so
give this guy a chance, like
he like there's so many guys who should have a chance. It's getting to a point where it's not like the old days where, like all the professional wrestlers watch big beefy guys who could barely work in the ring and they had like 3 moves and that. These guys are aerobatic, or they grew up watching wrestling when it was popular, and they're acrobatic and they're strong and they're, they can do these crazy moves that no way, Hulk Hogan couldn't do a corkscrew like frigging
right
Flash or something. He couldn't do a 420 or whatever the hell they call it. Like, It is what it is.
That is awesome. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna end it on that comment. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right, guys. I think we went longer today because we talked about the second NXT and we kind of started getting to the CM Punk, who really should not deserve as much time as because we gave him. But anyways, all right. So tomorrow night we'll talk about Daredevil on She-Hulk, and I got my tickets. I've got my Halloween tickets. Everyone's got different tiers. Steve, you owe me for 2 movies. Sean owes me for 3 movies, and Owen owes me for 1 movie. It's like I'm dropping a person every.
Yeah.
So we got our tickets for Halloween. I got my tickets for Black Adam, and I got my tickets for Black Panther. And I'm this close to Clobberin Times going to Black. I think Clobberin Times. He promised me. He swore to me he's not going to any more MCU movies after Love and Thunder, but I know he's going to Wakanda Forever, and we're probably going to talk about it. And I already made fun of him. Like, look, I know you're going anyways, so you can pretend you're not going, but
I'd like to say I'm not going to Black Panther.
You're not going to Black
Panther. And when I miss movies, MCU movies in the theater, they're either really, really good or completely terrible.
Yes. Yeah. Well, She-Hulk is 5 times. Well, She-Hulk is 20 times worse than Eternals. That no, because Eternals didn't piss me off. It's just boring and nothing happens, right? It's stupid. But like She-Hulk is like awful. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. All right, so that'll be tomorrow night. Friday night, we're doing the Space Opera versus. Here's who's qualified so far. Tomorrow, Friday night, it's going to be Galaxy of Terror versus the Forbidden World, and we're going to see which one of those qualifies. All right, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, guys. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.